And good Monday morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. We are sitting on October the 7th, 6:30 in the morning. So glad that you could join us as we begin today. 63 as we wait for a high of about 88. So it's going to be warm again. It'll be a little nippy this morning as you're out and about doing your early activities, but that'll soon burn off as we make way for that heat wave that is coming. A couple of things that went on earlier this morning. We had an accident, Highway 19. Where Highway 19 runs into 8th Street, where the CVS is. Someone struck a light pole. This was somewhere around 4 a.m. They should have this cleared up. I know they had power companies en route earlier to take care of that. I think it's been taken care of, but not 100% sure. We also had let me see about this. Let me show you where this accident was if you were out and about this morning. We had an accident near Highland Park. This would be at 20th Street and 36th Avenue. We had a little fender bender there also. If you take that route to work every day through there, 20th Street, shortcut in between the hospitals and also possibility that that could hold up. And also, we want to remind you that we'll bring this back up. If you're anywhere along I-20, Highway 11 and 80, check your cars. We got criminals that have been busy trying to take out of your car what they shouldn't. Just check those areas there around town. Pretty common these days for that to happen, and I would almost tell you that it's a nightly adventure. More security, more something needed in those areas there. They pick on these hotels like there's no tomorrow. As we said, it is Monday somehow or another. Guy Conklin is up. I see Richard Nelson is up. Doug, Brian McCary also stirring around getting this date. Miss Ann Hall, look at there. So many of you, we appreciate y'all. We're going to be right back as we get a good word. I think he's going to talk about the election and that being right around. Let's see what the preacher man's got to say. Let's see what Brother Ben has.
One of the reasons I love the Bible is that it is so practical. It helps us to sort out things that are often complex by giving us good, straightforward, simple wisdom. And an area that you and I sorely need that kind of practical wisdom is in the area of politics. We need a high dose of practicality there. That's why today's proverb is so helpful. It helps us to wade through political complexities to choose a wise political leader. Proverbs 20:26 says, "A wise king winnows the wicked and drives the wheel over them." In other words, a wise political leader works faithfully to separate out the wicked from the righteous. You see, back in Bible days, people grew and harvested wheat for bread, but once the wheat was harvested, it had to be processed. The good and edible parts of the wheat had to be separated from the bad and inedible parts, and so to get that process started, they would run over it with a wagon wheel. And then they would thrash it to continue the separation process, the good from the bad. And then finally they would winnow the wheat, which is basically tossing the wheat into the air and letting the wind blow away the lighter bad stuff, leaving behind only the good stuff. Beloved, this is what a wise political leader does with the righteous and the wicked. He or she works to keep the wicked from mixing into our society. They remove bad people. They take a hard stance against lawbreakers, those who steal, kill, and destroy. If these criminals are in our country, they lock them up. And if these criminals are outside of our country, they try to keep them out. That's what a wise leader does. So with an election season looming, the wise Christian keeps all this in mind when going into the election booth so a wise choice can be made for a wise leader. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Odie sends out the alert of watch the deer. They are traveling, and I have heard, this is not a rumor, but I'm going to say that one of them jumped up on the hood of a Tahoe with Metro Ambulance this weekend. Done a little dance, left a busted windshield and a few other things there. So that did happen. We had several reports of that this week. So be careful as you leave out. The cooler weather makes them travel. And, of course, it is now bow season. A lot happening there. What is going on around America? I guess they went to special training over the last, 30, 40 days there. Secret Service learned how to stand on a sloped roof, y'all. They did not know how to do this a few months ago, but over the weekend they learned to stand on a slightly tilted roof as Trump went back to Pennsylvania for the same location where he was shot at a few months ago, where he was hit. Huge crowd turnout. I think even Elon Musk showed up for the event over the weekend. Big turnout from what I understand. Here's something that as we all rally and trucks are leaving and going toward North Carolina, and before long we're going to be sending trucks, I'm sure, to Florida. But the people that are in North Carolina that have been affected by this, there's all types of rumors and things going on, but at the end of the day, insurance is not going to cover any of these people. And I know a lot of people say, well, they should have. Well, if you live in the mountains, you normally don't have flood damage. It's horrific what has happened. The least little things mean everything to these folks who are in their time of need. Keep them in your minds, your thoughts and prayers. And I guarantee you, someone on your road somewhere around has a connection there. We all have family that lives other places. Think of it. We'll talk more about it as we get into the morning show of what's going on there. Former New York Governor David Patterson, his stepson, walking down the street, they were assaulted by two teenagers. The teenagers have been taken into custody. No names have been released because of their age. That's getting bad. That's bad. New York is changing. Over the weekend, Madonna's brother has passed away. His name was Christopher. He died at the age of 63. Condolences to her and her family there. It's so sad to lose someone, but that happening to Madonna. Boy, this slipped up on me. And I guess the last star that I knew of that done this was Marty Robbins, who got into racing. Keanu Reeves, you remember him? That's John Wick, isn't it? John Wick was at the Indianapolis Motorsports and spun out. I didn't know he even had a car was doing that. But he did it. He returned to the race. He was uninjured, didn't hit anybody, but he's trying. We wish him luck on his adventures of racing there. We all wondered if this would happen, and finally this has come out. Now, I don't want anybody to think this is morbid, what I'm going to say here, but I think most of us thought it. Richard Simmons, when he was laid to rest, he did wear his iconic outfit that he did all of his workouts in. That's what they buried him in, and rightly so. But it's been officially released. That's what happened. And I do think most of us wondered if that was it. That's when you see Richard Simmons, you see that. Sad news is people have been trying, kind of like this was not a part of the Cajun Navy, but someone who was trying to help. A Tennessee nurse and his dog died. They were in a boat trying to get to a man who was trapped. His boat got caught in the water. It slapped the side of a stick and overturned, and he drowned. That's sad. He was doing the right thing, trying to help someone, and sad, sad, sad. We see that GM has halted production at two of their major U.S. plants due to the hurricane Helene, of the effects of that. They've halted production of that due to lack of workers and, well, transportation through those areas there of getting parts in and out. Again, we do think of them with all of that. We'll talk about what worked at the box office in just a little bit. Did it work or not? We'll tell you it did or not. Kathy, good morning. I see Terry Bateman is up. Robin joins us. Also Sandra. So good of y'all to join us. We appreciate that. We got your forecast next. We'll get into all of that, what to expect today, and what's going to be happening toward Wednesday. There's some bad stuff that is cutting across. We need to warn you about all of this and where the watches are coming for Florida. We'll check all of that next.
Y'all come on out and see us at J&J Used Cars, Highway 19 South in the Southeast community. We right up the hill from the red light. Wide variety, nice quality used cars. Got 4-door Z71s. Okay, Christmas gonna be here before you know it. Wife, daughter, they will get you off your feet and back in the street. Right here at J&J Used Cars on Highway 19 South, Meridian.
Accidents happen, I should know. So if that deer jumps out in front of you, go see the professionals at Chest Paint and Body Shop. Chet can help you navigate the confusing world of insurance. From that insurance-provided photo estimate to the right to choose the body shop of your choice. And from a minor scratch to a major collision, Chet has you covered. Chet offers quality repairs by trained and certified technicians with a lifetime warranty on all repairs. Chet is my shop of choice. I hope he's yours too.
When I was elected to the state Senate 9 years ago, my goal was to bring a new generation of conservative leadership to the Capitol to get things done. I'm Mississippi Supreme Court to do the same thing. I've written legislation to lower taxes and reduce regulations on farmers, manufacturers, and other businesses in Mississippi. On the Supreme Court, I'll use my experience and conservative values to always interpret the law, not to rewrite it or bend the rules for anyone.
And welcome back as we get ready for election season. Well, that's going to be right around the corner. November, it's coming. Whew. It's hard to believe this has gone that fast. And before we know it, we'll have another election just after the first of the year for the Meridian area. Those of you who live in the city will be able to vote towards a mayor. All of that is coming. As we go back for our record highs and record lows, let's get into our forecast.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we see those, it was 2016, we had a record high of 94 today. We'll get to 88, I think, is best we'll reach today, but not far off from that. As we look at 1964, wasn't that the year of the big snow? I think it was. I wasn't here either, but I hear stories, and I've seen pictures. It was 34 this morning back in 1964. Maybe it was a Bob Singer. No, it was Bob Singer. It was 63, wasn't it? As we look at sunshine in 89 for the Meridian area across this, we'll go northward through Scuba and go right on up through Sugarlock and make it to Columbus Air Force Base. Should be 86 as we get to Mississippi State, between 86 and 87. Down through the river, we'll warm back up to 89 at Natchez. As we go east in Bamaland, 88 in Demopolis, we'll see 85 in Birmingham. Even Gadsden, we'll see 84 as we get getting into that North Alabama area. Hamilton should see 80, Selma around 88 as well. Troy not too bad at 86 in those areas. Here's what we see. Let me back up on this. Here's what we see here for the state of Mississippi. We're kind of in the average there, this warm area here in the mid-80s, upper 80s. Back to our west northern Texas. It's hot, no doubt. That 7-day forecast, as you saw that sneak peek of this, 81. But look at tomorrow. A drastic change in between today and tomorrow. About 9 degrees difference. 88 today, 0% chance of getting your deer fields to come up, I might say, over the next 2 weeks. No rain in sight. It is bad. 81 for our high tomorrow. It will be a drastic change. We'll see 83 Wednesday, 82, all the way steady through the weekend. That's not bad. That's kind of the perfect weather there. Although it would be nice to have a little rain there, as we see here. And it just doesn't get any better as I offer chances for those deer hunters. Looks like on the 17th, your biggest chance of rain over the next 2 weeks will be then. And then it's only 17%. We're not going to put much on that. But we have highs from 84 and below for the next 2 weeks. That won't be bad. We'll get through today and be our heaviest, hottest day for the next 2 weeks. Let's look here as we look at our best times to fish today. It looks like our major time was early this morning. It ended right around 6. You'll have another major time this afternoon around 4 o'clock, say 4:15 to 6:15 to dark 30. Wind's going to be light, increasing 5 to 10 there if you're going to be out fishing. So good luck with that. We'll give you your deer hunting forecast here in just a moment. Now, matter of fact, well, let's do that, and then we'll get into the hurricane of what's going on there. Where did that go? Oh, it's over here. I got to get my ducks in a row, don't I? I'm working on it. Here's our best times to deer hunt today as we look at this. It looks as though today at 3:20 will be a great time to go fishing, your major time, until about 5:30. So it's a great afternoon hunt. Your minor time will be around 11 o'clock until noon. Got an hour there right around lunchtime this minor. Sunrise is at 6:53. We're just minutes away from that. Sunset will hit around 6:30 this afternoon. And, of course, you can capture that beauty there. It's all happening there with Wimberley. Go by and see them if you get lucky this year. Hope you do. Now, let's get into what's going on in the Gulf, because this is becoming very serious of what we've got. This is, in the last little bit, this has upgraded since we put out our forecast at 3. I was here, 3:30, 3:40 this morning working on it. It's upgraded. We got a new update from the National Weather Service as we pull up our radar this morning. Let's look at what we have right now. It is now a Cat 3, moving along at 120 miles an hour, moving east-southeast at 8 miles an hour. and we see that it has 954 millibars. Serious. Now, as we see this by tomorrow at 1 a.m., just after midnight tonight, this will upgrade to a Category 4. It will have wind speeds of 132, gusts of 161 miles an hour. Now, let's look at what this happens. There's lots of talk of what they expect. This is going to, right before landfall, go from a 4 to a 3. But with this being said, this is going to widen and make the storm that much more dangerous. It's going to have a surge like you've never seen. This could be catastrophic for Florida. Now, just before landfall, let's look at this. And this is going to be Wednesday afternoon. We will have winds of 127 miles an hour, gust of 155 miles an hour as it comes ashore. And if you'll see all these spaghetti models, this is going to come in somewhere between Tampa and Sarasota is where it is expected at this point. It's going to go either a little east or west, but that's going to be the eye of it. But let's look at this. Let's turn off our spaghetti models where you'll see this. This stretches from Cedar Key all the way down to Naples, Florida, this eye of this. And if you'll see here, this will remain a hurricane across the entire state of Florida. It will be a level 1 after it hits land and stay a level 1 and come out on the other side. This is very dangerous. Fort Pierce, all of these areas, Orlando, Kissimmee, you'll see these big towns. Ocala, y'all are going to get pounded here. And again, the eye of this thing right through Tampa, Port Charlotte, all those, be on the lookout. If you've got friends, family in that area, urge them to evacuate. Don't stay. We've got a couple of days to get out. This is not worth standing around trying to hold on to a few possessions, load what you can, and leave. Your life is worth so much more than this. We're, I think, a little less than 300 on the other, if I'm not mistaken, 270. I've heard different figures, and there are still people that they haven't found. They found, I think, yesterday, 7 or 8 people that were held up, that had no communication, no way to get out. These things are dangerous. It was in a church. How many was in there? 40. 40 in a church. This is the real deal. It is not coming to the Mississippi-Alabama coastline. It will go east and go into Florida. This is for sure what we're looking at. Again, we're at a level 3 hurricane this morning. It will increase to a 4, then to a 3 before making landfall. A dangerous, dangerous storm. Pay attention and watch this, as we will be here monitoring this, passing along information as it comes about there. Again, let's look back at this path of what we got here. A 3 this morning as it makes its way, increasing to a 4 on Tuesday afternoon. Around 1 o'clock it will increase. And then 1 a.m. right after that, 1 p.m. it drops to a 3 again right before landfall. So we're looking at landfall sometime in between 1 and 3 p.m. It's nature. Don't hold me to that because it's Mother Nature. It could speed up. It could slow down. But we're expecting that landfall sometime Wednesday afternoon. You've got just a few days to make preparations and to get out as you can. Do so. Do not wait around. It's not worth your life. Pick up them puppy dogs and hit the road if you're there. It'll be there when you go back, what's left of it. Royce, appreciate that. What you laughing about over there, Odie?
It'll be there when you get back.
It will be.
What's left of it.
What's left of it. It ain't worth your life.
It ain't worth your life.
It really isn't. And we all, and I knew someone who recently got a little burn trying to save something. And you work hard all your life for everything you got. It's tough to walk away. But again, your life and family is the most important. And I know you're thinking, well, you're sitting there where it's nice and dry. I am. But again, life is what matters. The next day, you can rebuild some way, somehow. And it's heartbreaking to watch this stuff. We've got the morning show coming. What's it now?
If you don't have the money to move to a hotel, get you a tent and go to a state park in another state.
Yeah, you could get, if you don't have the money for a tent, as Odie was saying, go to a state park in another state. But you got to go. And it is expensive. Don't get me wrong. You think about that, your day-to-day bills that you have, of you barely get by paycheck to paycheck, the way high things are high now. It is tough to pack up and go stay in a motel for 3 a week or so. Figure out something. You got to get out of there. Friends, family, I'm sure that people are letting people in their homes in other states that call a friend. Boy, oh boy. We'll be right back as we get ready for the morning show. It gets underway in we'll go live in about 5 minutes, and we're going for the entire show at 7 a.m. Join us, won't you? We got a lot to talk about of what went on over the weekend. Coffees are brewing at the Scotty Ray Report.